So I've decided on how I'm going to attack this cast deck. The floor is going to be replaced at some stage. I'm not doing the floor straight away or doing the floor, but the floor is too long. I want my cast deck to go past the floor so that when they put a new floor in, the floor just butts up against the cast deck. Okay, for that to happen, I need to cut. I've already marked it out. I need to cut along here. There is a cross member underneath here. The cross member is 130 millimeters away. So the cross member starts here. So there is a bit of a gap between where the cast deck is going to land and where the floor is going to finish. There's a little bit of a gap. So I'm going to build the cast deck strong enough to just support itself. Now for this to happen, I need to cut through these little brackets on the corner here, through this bracket on the corner over here, and trim all of this timber off. And then the cast deck that I build will sit in here and go past here. All right, so let's get into that. We'll just knock this off first. Safety first. Always ear protection, eye protection, and my favourite tool can cut aluminium, wood, plastic, fingers, and a bit of air. I gave it a service yesterday. All it needs is a little bit of neat oil in the bottom there. It says oil daily, but I don't oil it daily. Here we go. It's as simple as that. Come down here and have a look. Come on. Alright, so I cleaned all of this up yesterday, you saw that. And just knock this off now, and there's the cross member I was talking about. It'd be nice to sit the cast deck on the cross member, but the guy doesn't want to do the floor right now. I sort of get it. It's an expensive little episode. And then a tank as well. So all this is going to take some time. So now I'm going to go away, measure up this panel, which runs across here. So after cutting the floor out, we need to take some dimensions on what we're going to put in here. So if I quickly draw what I've done before in the past, quickly draw a panel that will sit in here. It slightly leans out at the top. It's got to fit underneath the gunnel at the top. So we've got a height and we've got a width to work with. We just fill in the numbers now. This is 1670 across the bottom. 1670, and across the top is 1950. 1950, and up the sides 550. double check this one as well. Should be pretty much the same. It is 550. $550. Alright, and anything that we adjust on that, put a fold on it, a fold on the top, we'll add that to those measurements as we go. Alright, so off to the aluminium rack and find a piece that suits that size and cut one out, and off we go from there. Come on. Okay, so I've cleaned up this area across here, and I've just clamped a bit of angle on here just as a support, and all of these pieces have all been cut right for the cast deck mount. It's clamped in place. All the other bits and pieces I've already cut and made. That's the boring stuff, seeing it get folded and whatever. This is what you want to see. It all goes together. Simple little piece cut out. The other side. There we have our cast deck. Come and have a closer look. When I weld it out, I'll get rid of all of those little gaps, so there's not much there anyway. And all of this gap just pushes out. You can just close all that up. Close all that up. A couple of clamps. Same on this side. Close that all up. There's our lithium battery and esky. And there's the mount that we saw getting welded in earlier. Alright. Just got to flash that welder up again. There she is. Drag it over here. Weld it out. I've got the lid made as well. I'll buy some struts and some hinges. go, everything in place. You can see I've just tacked it all around the edges there. Squeezed up all the gaps with clamps. Welded the corners out. Corners are good. They're easy to get to. If you happen to make a mistake, you can cut them out. And there you have it. Time to weld it out and put the lid on. The final piece to the puzzle is done. The lid is on. Some struts. These struts are 130 Newton meters. It's designed just to hold the door up whilst you're out fishing. I made sure that when the esky's in, that you can open the lid of the esky and it doesn't want to push the lid of the esky shut on you. I've also a little cutout for the bung on the esky, so you can open it and just drop it into the hull of the boat. There's the lithium battery mount. Very solid. 50 by 6 angle. Also put a pocket in the front for any sort of gear that you want to stick in there. It also stiffens up the front of the casting deck. I've got a lip around the top of the casting deck, so it should keep all the water out. Welded all the way around. Some reinforcement on the door so we can have people standing up top there fishing away. Not a worry in the world. And that brings to the end of this job. Tiny handle on top. And of course, I finished the electric mount as well. Try to protect his carpet as best I could. He's going to recarpet the whole thing in any case, but still, that's just the practice I play. So thank you for watching, and if you haven't, please subscribe to the channel. If you have, thank you very much for watching, sticking around with me.